Hi guys, so today I'm going to do my third video for you on tropical fish. Just a bit of information on certain fish, and like I say, it's good for your little ones to also learn about stuff like this kind of fish. Basically, the fish that I'm going to talk to you, this is going to be again three fish that I'm going to talk to you about. This is the last video doing these kind of video talks with this fish tank now. You've seen all the fish once this video's done. If you haven't seen the other videos, I have done two more. I've done one about called swimming fish about a week ago, so scroll down my Facebook page. If you click on that, it'll take you onto my YouTube channel. There's the first video were about plex and catfish, the second one was about swimming fish, and this is the third one, okay? And this is the tetra video, so this one's going to be about tetras and 3 tetras that I've got in my tank. So I'm going to show you the fish now, guys, okay? And I'm going to start telling you a little bit about them. Now, these fish, they are a bit shy, but the ones we're going to try and look at, guys, at the minute are these ones here. These ones with the big red heads and the stripy tails. The one that have the little patterns on the back of the tails, a bit like the zebra kind of patterns that we know of. So these two just here. Now they do swim around quite a lot, and when they see the camera in front of the glass, they will swim around and mostly swim at the back. So I will try and catch up with them as quick as I can, okay? So if you can just try and focus on them. So these guys are called rummy-nosed tetras, okay? And these are a tropical fish that live in South America. So they're a South American kind of fish. So, like most tetras, they can grow up to around 5 centimetres, 2 inch long. Now, these guys, this is as big as they're going to get, I think. They haven't grown any more since I bought them. And you can get them a lot smaller as well, and they do like to be in groups. So, if one of these passes, the other one's going to feel very, very lonely, and then that will probably pass as well. However, at the minute, as you can see, they follow each other around everywhere, and they like to be in groups. So they are known as fire-headed tetras as well. They're known as fire-headed tetras, but mainly their common name is rummy-nosed tetra. They call them fire-headed tetras because of that lovely red head that they've got. And you'll notice that the rest of their body is a beige colour. Where have they gone? Ah, there they are. Yeah, you'll notice the rest of their body is a beige colour. They'll use that beige colour to camouflage and hide from not just us, but the predators that are looking for them in them waters. They'll hide in sandy kind of areas. So they usually like to travel in groups from up to 2 to 8. So as you can see, they are pretty big fish, so obviously I don't want 8 of them in here. So 2 will obviously did this tank well. These fish are shallow fish, so they'll swim in shallow waters, in shallow sandy waters. Now, even though these are a tropical fish, they are kind of like the fish that we see when we go to the seaside and the beach. So basically, what fish I'm talking about is when you go into the water in the sea and you see all those little fish swimming around your feet. Okay, these guys are a relation to that. So these are kind of like the tropical version of that fish. However, these guys are a lot more shy, and they will, like I said, they will swim away, make themselves really protected. Okay, so that there, guys, is our rummy-nosed tetra. So I'm going to put my camera back, let some fish come back forward, okay? The next one we're going to talk about is a very common fish. In fact, you're looking at them right now. We're going to look at these blue and red fishes here, okay? I've got 4 of these, so it might be easier to get them on the camera. These guys are called neon tetras, okay? Neon tetras. So these are a very popular fish to have, and especially if you're starting off with your tank at first, they're a very popular fish to have as a first tank mate. So these guys, you will find them living in clear streams and clear and black streams in South America. So again, like many of these fish in here, just like the rummy-nosed tetra, these guys are from South America, except you will find them in streams, not sandy waters. You'll find them in clear and black streams. So you can see that the colours are bright red and blue. Now that's not to camouflage, because as you can imagine, they can't really camouflage using those colours, but they can warn away their predators. Usually when creatures have got bright coloured scales or skin like these ones have, it's to warn their predators away. These guys in the wild would probably pretend that they are venomous or poisonous, and that obviously that big red colour at the back means danger. Red means danger, as I mentioned in my last video. So any predators that want to try and eat these guys, it's probably just a warning and an indication that obviously not to eat them, okay? Now, the colours, lovely and bright at the minute, that's what neons are known for. But when it's night time, they'll kind of go on a hypnotic kind of mode, and they will start to shut down, and that means they'll start to sleep. Now, when they start to rest and sleep, their colours will dim because they don't need the colours in the night time, they only need them in the day. So when it's dark, the colours will fade. When it's light, the colours will brighten up, just like you can see them right now. So even though they're a small fish, believe it or not, they can live to 10 years. So again, very good to have in as a pet. And if you look after them, these guys can live up to 10 years. So you'll have these in your tank for 10 years, guys, which is a really, really impressive age to live. Now, even though it is a species of tetra, all tetras are different. So as you can see, they look a lot different from the rummy nose tetras that I've just showed you. And that's those there. Now these guys, there's only two tetras that these guys are mainly related to, and that is the green tetra, which you can tell them from the neon tetras. They look literally the same as these, same shape, just like a greenish colour, and the black tetra, and they're more of a dark colour. Okay, and that's how you can tell that these two are related. They look exactly the same, just different colours. So now we've talked about the neon tetra, I am going to talk about the smallest fish, again another tetra, in the tank. Now this one, there's about 7 of these in here, but they like to stay in the groups that they are. Now these guys here, I don't know if you can see them, 2 little golden fish just there. Okay, now there's a lot of these swimming around and they like to stay behind the big fish. So there's 3 of them right there at the bite now. I'll try and keep on them as best as I can, but obviously they're that small and they're that fast. These are the hardest ones to get a video of, okay? But these are also tetras. Now these are ember tetras. Now usually this guy here, he's the biggest one out of the group, so that means he's the one in charge. He's the big daddy. He's the one who's in charge of that group there. And like I said, they like to travel in big groups, and I've got 7 of these in here. You can usually have quite a lot of these in a tank like this because they're that small. And they are starting to be a very popular fish to have. Now the name are ember tetras, okay? And like I said, smallish fish in the tank. They actually come from Brazil, so they're a Brazilian tropical fish, and they were discovered in 1987. Okay, so they weren't that long ago. They were only recently discovered a few years ago. So yeah, that's really good. So they can grow up to 2 centimeters and 0.8 inches. So like I said, guys, they can only grow so big. That big one there is the biggest one. That's as big as they're going to grow. Like I said, usually the biggest one is the one in charge. He's the leader of the pack. Now these will eat the flake and other food that I put in here, just like the other fish, but they will eat the plants as well. They do nibble at some of the plants, and they'll also eat invertebrates as well. So even though ember tetras are getting a bit more popular to have as a pet, they are hard to find. They're a very rare kind of tetra to have. Luckily, the place where I go to get my fish, they've got a really good wide variety of fish to have. And just luckily, they had these in. Like I said, better getting these in big groups. They can... Obviously, I've got 7. They like to be in groups of up to 4 or 6. I've got 7. They're absolutely fine. And as you can see, they're everywhere, okay? So they like hanging around this big plant quite a lot. and that's just to give them a bit more cover. I am going later to the fish shop to get some more plants in here as well, so that'll be even better for them. So you'll notice they stick around this plant, keeps them nice and safe, as you can imagine, and when I stick some more plants in later, it'll keep them even more safe. Well, they're safe anyway, but if they're in the wild, obviously it'll keep them more safe. They like to stick together, as you can notice. They like to swim in groups in between these plants, not just to protect themselves, but also to protect their fry. Now, when I say fry, that is just another word for baby fish, okay? So they like to protect their baby fish. And what they'll do is they'll stick their eggs onto these plants or underneath, and when they hatch, hopefully, if there's no predators around, the babies can swim right at the bottom in between all the plant life where they can't get hurt. So that is all the fish. That was a talk about the tetras, okay? And you've learned a little bit about the tetras now, guys. Unfortunately, that's the last video to do with this tank. Now, I've got some updates now, guys. This box here, I have put a picture on Facebook. Companies are wanting to charge about £5 to £7 for a snail trap. Luckily, I saw on YouTube that you can actually make your own. So what I've done is put a box in there, put some bait in there, held the box down, put lots of holes in the box. I've already got about 4 snails in there that can't get back out. So they're really good snail traps. The snails will go in there, and they've gone in over the night time. Okay, so they'll go in over the night time. When you get up the next day, you'll get some snails in there, which is really good. So it just goes to show you can save yourself some money. So just to let people know. You'll also see that there's no net anymore. Unfortunately, the eggs that I had wasn't fertilised, so unfortunately they haven't hatched. So I have had to obviously take the net out and take the leaf out and everything like that. So fortunately, I haven't got any babies this time round. Hopefully, I will be getting some babies one day. It's looking a good sign that the corridors keep breeding. So hopefully, you never know, hopefully one day we will. And last but not least, I have got another tank. I am setting that up today. If I can go and get some plants, I'll go and get some plants for it. I'm waiting for my light to get delivered for that tank, and then we are all good to go. All I need is an ornament in there for some shade, for the fish, for some hiding places, and then I can go and get my fish. Now, I'm thinking of getting a totally different kind of fish. I don't know what I'm getting yet, but I'm thinking of getting a predator fish, something a bit fun for you guys to look at. When I do get the fish that I decide I'm getting, I will do another talk learning video about that. But anyway, guys, I hope you've really enjoyed this video. Remember, guys, to look at my other videos. It's good for your kids to learn this kind of stuff about the fish that I'm talking about. Like I said, I'll get the other tank up and running as quick as I can. Obviously, with quarantine, it's a bit hard. I'll try and get it up and running as quick as I can, and we can do another talk about the fish that I'm going to get in that tank. I'm also on about thinking of going up to my mum and dad's one day. They've got a big pond filled with fish. On a nice sunny day, I'll do a talk about the fish that are in that pond as well for you. Like I said, everything's good for the little ones, good for them to learn, and good for them to, obviously, like I said, learn about stuff to do with all this aquatic stuff. So anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching, and yeah, I'll see you soon, hopefully. Thank you. Bye-bye.